In this video, we will look at arguably the most underachieving franchise in IPL history so far, the Royal Challengers Bangalore. RCB's talisman, Virat Kohli, has achieved almost everything there is to achieve in the game. Highest ever run scorer in T20 international history, 5th highest ODI run scorer of all time, Test captain of India for 8 years and its most successful captain of all time, an ICC Men's Cricketer of the Decade. He's accomplished all of these things and more, but there's one trophy that's eluded him so far, and it might hurt the most of all, and that's the IPL trophy. Boy, haven't there been some heartbreaking losses for RCB over the years.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's... Oh, what about that for Fielding? And he gets it right to the natural. The Japanese Super Kings are in the final. Finishes it in style.
With their fortunes inextricably linked, we will look at what has held RCB back from IPL greatness so far. With Virat coming to the twilight of his career and time running out, we ask, will Virat Kohli ever win the IPL? Stay tuned. RCB have always had a love for the international superstar. That's no secret. Aside from Virat Kohli, there's been Chris Gayle, AB de Villiers, Kevin Pietersen, and many more. These players have created some amazing moments. I still remember where I was when Universe Boss hit 175 off 66 balls, or when AB took liberties with Dale Steyn and the rest of the Deccan Chargers bowling in 2012. However, in pursuing these stars, it's led to more systemic issues with the wider playing squad. See, all IPL teams work under a salary cap, which ensures a degree of equality across all of the teams. As you would expect, this type of player, the megastar, they attract a high price as they're in high demand through all of the teams. Kohli is one of the highest paid players in the IPL. When Kevin Pietersen was around, his contract broke records, and Gayle and AB de Villiers, they weren't cheap either. To fill the squad with the necessary number of players and still stay under the salary cap, some sacrifices need to be made, and RCB have simply not had enough salary cap to fit the squad with accompanying pieces to help these megastars on many different occasions. This meant that RCB's love of the big players became a dependence on the big players. For the fortunes of the team were tied to whether these minority of players were in form or not. Comparing the 2016 and the 2017 seasons for RCB shows this perfectly. In 2016, RCB were the IPL runners-up, and this was on the back of Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers scoring 973 and 687 runs respectively, which were the first and third highest run scorers for RCB in that season. Looking then at 2017, where they finished last, Kohli and AB's numbers came down considerably, as they struggled to produce the same level of runs in that season. But what's more telling is that none of the other RCB players managed to pick up the slack. This dependency on one or two players is even more acute on the bowling side. It has often come down to one or two bowlers to shoulder the entire wicket-taking needs for the entire team. Until recently, Yuzvendra Chahal was almost always one of these bowlers. But this just hasn't been enough. A bowler can only bowl 4 overs on his own after all. RCB have tried a variety of different international bowlers, like Tymor Mills, Billy Stanlake, Mitchell Starc, Chris Wokes, Kane Richardson, Shane Watson, Tim Southey, David Visa, Chris Morris, Sean Abbott, and Dale Steyn. But none of these have had the long-term success that RCB needed. Although granted, some of the reasons why they haven't been successful have been out of the control of RCB themselves. Ultimately, almost through the weight of the amount of strikeouts that they've had with these bowlers, RCB have been forced to focus on Indian players like Mohammad Siraj and Harshal Patel, which they've had a lot more success with recently. I want to make a quick caveat to this though, in that RCB, perhaps more than any other IPL franchise, has been affected by the changes in venue and country that the IPL has had to deal with over the past few years. Playing their games at the Chinnaswamy, a stadium known for its pace-friendly pitches and high scoring, RCB have rightfully geared their game plan towards these conditions. However, the IPL's relocation to the UAE, where the conditions are almost the complete opposite, and then to Mumbai Stadium, have left their squad not as suitable for those conditions. But players like Siraj and Yadav and the production that they've provided highlights perhaps the most important missing piece to the RCB puzzle, and that's a strong core of domestic talent in the RCB squad. As we looked at with the Perth Scorchers and their secrets to success in the Big Bash recently, link on screen now if you want to check that one out, but it's also evident with Mumbai and Chennai in their IPL success. All three of these teams had a core of local player talent that served as the backbone for the side. With Mumbai, there's been a steady stream of local players throughout the side, from Rohit Sharma to the Pandya brothers to Jasprit Bumrah to Surya Kumar Yadav and Ishan Kishan, just to name a few. This method enabled international players to be brought into the side to fill gaps that are left, rather than the other way around. It's almost as though, in RCB's push to essentially not ever have a true building phase, that this has inadvertently hampered their ability for IPL success over multiple seasons, and having the squad necessary for such success. Although they've come close on a few occasions, their reliance on international megastars has meant that when they needed support from other teammates to stand up and raise their game at crucial moments, this hasn't eventuated up until date. Now the big question is 2023 any different for RCB and Virat Kohli? Now there does seem to be a more concerted focus on making a well-rounded side this time around. However, their championship aspirations still do rest largely on the fortunes of Virat Kohli, Faf du Plessis and Glenn Maxwell this time around. Injuries to Rajat Patidar, Josh Hazlewood and Reece Topley may hamper their first half of the IPL, if not longer. But their lower middle order has the batting ability to put some runs on for themselves as well. If all of these fire consistently, being back at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, that could fire them towards a finals appearance. That's a big if though. Virat Kohli finally seems to have played himself into some form after such a long time, but he's only played one IPL game so far and there's a long way to go yet. Glenn Maxwell is coming off a serious leg injury and has had limited game time to get ready for this tournament. But in Faf du Plessis, I think they've got one of the best captains in World T20 cricket at the moment. He's been showing great form in the SAT20 just recently, and his presence will allow Virat Kohli to focus more on just scoring runs for this team. But RCB's wider strategy will still be to back their run scoring ability and hope that the bowling can support them in that endeavour. With 10 teams now in the IPL, it's harder than ever to win the tournament and more difficult for Virat to win in the limited time he has left, which is sad because I think Virat Kohli deserves an IPL trophy to cap off an amazing career. And despite what some people may say, Virat Kohli is already a legend of our sport. Now there's probably a few IPL fans watching this who have their own opinion on why RCB always struggle and whether or not Virat Kohli will ever win an IPL. I'd be interested to hear your opinions on today's video, so please leave a comment down below if you want to. And if you're new, thanks for checking out the video and consider subscribing as we continue to pump out content on this great game. The video on screen now is about a player who I think is the best T20 spinner going around at the moment. If you want to learn about his trailblazing story to the big time, click here. And until the next one, take care and I'll see you soon.